Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jesse Smith, and I'm here to convince you why we need to go back to a universal uniform for the whole military. Alright, we are breaking down the military budget, but somehow still find ways to pay for all these uniforms every year, millions and millions of dollars. So we're going to be talking about how we've gone from 2 uniforms that we use universally throughout the military to multiple unnecessary uniforms. Next, we're going to talk about how they've come about with this furlough and sequestration, but they still are able to research for gender-specific uniforms, and they are trying to take away our benefits. Alright, I got my information from many different websites, the stripes.com, military.com, and the defense.gov websites. Alright, first let's talk about how we've gone from 2 to 10 different uniforms. Some of the uniforms are actually put their own branch insignias into the uniform so they can't be used by other branches. This to me is just unnecessary fashion statement. Alright, next is the furlough and sequestration. They're laying off civilians. They are closing military places like the commissary for extra days just so they don't have to pay civilians, which is in the end going to make us not as strong of a military. Next is the gender-specific uniforms. They're able to send out people to research and find out different measurements for females just to cancel it. They spent millions of dollars on this project and they just canceled it. This is what they're spending way too much money on uniforms for no reason at all. Next, they're trying to take away our benefits. They took away tuition assistance for a month before they got so many complaints that they just had to turn it back on just till the end of the year. We don't even know if they're gonna turn it back off after the end of the year or not. Alright, they're just not looking in the right places for where to cut the budget. They're just not. They're spending all this money on uniforms and they're trying to take away our educational benefits that are going to help us. How is spending money on uniforms going to help us? It's not. It's not. Alright, let's recap what we just went over. Alright, in the past 11 years, from 2002, we have gone from 2 uniforms to now 10, and they're still spending millions researching, trying to figure out more uniforms. Next, we went over the gender-specific, how they're closing down different civilian jobs so they don't have to pay civilians. And lastly, went over how they're trying to take away our benefits that are going to help us when uniforms aren't going to. I would like to say that uniforms is more like a fashion statement right now, going around which uniform looks the best from the Navy to the Army, when that shouldn't be a focus at all. It should be on our benefits and being combat ready. I would like to leave off with how 11 years ago we only had 2 uniforms universally throughout the Army and it worked. Don't fix something that isn't broken. Alright, thank you.